So hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of On the Winbox. We've got an aim of 100 this year, so we really need to up our frequency, but we're doing quite well at the moment with the one per week, but that will be upped, but we need your email marketing questions sent in, and we've got a couple of really good questions today to answer. We're also live on Facebook Live and we're live on Periscope, so hopefully questions will be coming through there as well throughout the show, and we'll answer them as they come through. Today I have with me Heidi. So Heidi has been working with Winbox for about 6 weeks now, officially. So it flies by the time. And basically Heidi's a first year student at university, and I'll allow her to tell you a bit about that in a second. But she came to Winbox as an intern and was working 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, usually would come into the office. And she was brilliant at her tasks, so we've now brought her on a permanent basis. So it works around university. Heidi is in usually every Wednesday for a full day to help us with different bits in the business. Do you just want to tell everyone a little bit about what you do at university and also your role at Winbox?
Okay, so at uni I'm studying business team entrepreneurship. I'm in my first year at the moment. It's a really great programme. We get to do lots of exciting things with businesses, and my role here at Winbox is I handle the email campaigns and the social media for Winbox, and help out Mark and Helen when they've got a lot of work on as well.
Yeah. And we always have a lot of work on, so every Wednesday when Heidi comes in there's a massive list of things to do, and you probably think, oh god. But how are you getting on? Are you enjoying working with Winbox?
Great, living it.
And growing the company, great, really glad to have you on board. So Helen's here as well, hiding off camera, but you will hear her. So Helen, we've got a couple of questions that's been tweeted in for today's show.
Yeah, so the first question is from Scubaware, and Scubaware's asked, hey Winbox, when starting from scratch, what's the best way to build a mailing list, and what's your opinions on double opt-ins?
So Scubaware, Tom is the guy who runs Scubaware, and they are building a reservations system for dive centres. So if you're a dive centre, get in touch, because what they're doing is quite incredible. I've seen a lot of the plans, and they're going to be doing really well. So thank you, Tom, for the question. But the question you're asking, you should be a loyal follower of the show. I would hope that you've watched all of our episodes, you've listened to the podcast, so you would know our formula that we push all the time for getting opt-ins. And that formula, I'll say it again, is a valuable incentive times lots of opportunities to subscribe. So what you want to do, Tom, and you really do want to focus on building your email list at the moment, is you want to come up with a lead magnet, some sort of incentive which these dive centres will want to give you their email address for. They'll be willing to give over that personal information, which is a big step for them to take, because they need what you're offering. Whether that's a white paper, whether that's a guide, whether that's some top tips, whether that's exclusive video or exclusive discount when you launch Scubaware, because I know you're pre-launch at the moment. So just give them something that they're going to really want, and give them lots of opportunities to opt in for that. So have a scroll box on your website, you could even have a like box, you have landing pages, you push them to on your social media. Obviously most of the content you're pushing out there is going to be value given, but make sure when you are giving the transactional message, the sales message, you're encouraging people to opt into your emails. So Periscope's just gone off because it's on my phone and I've got a phone call, so whoever just called me then, I'll call you back in a second. We're back live again, that's good. You can see how professional we are with these setups. But to get back to Tom's question, between single opt-in and double opt-in, for all of our clients, I much prefer single opt-in, just because I feel double opt-in is a waste of time for yourself and for the subscriber. And I know MailChimp make you do double opt-in. I don't think they have a choice if you're going directly through MailChimp, but most of the other email marketing providers do. Because when you sign up for a list, you've already signed up. You've said, you've put in your name, your email address, if you're doing things right, you know what you're signing up for. Why then do you need to click a link in your inbox to confirm your subscription? It might mean the quality of your list is higher going forward, but I've seen percentages of the amount of people that actually ignore that email or don't get around to it, or goes into the junk folder or wherever it might be. So they've opted in, they want to receive your communications, but they never actually get around to receiving it because of their double opt-in. Don't waste their time, don't waste your time. Just have the right methods to get people to opt in so they know what they're signing up for, and then just have a single opt-in so it's nice and easy for both people, and make sure you have an autoresponder as well when they do sign up to deliver your incentive and thank them as well. So there's Tom's question, and I believe we have one more for today.
We do. So the next question is from Adam Crooks, and he's asked, do you recommend adding the recipient's name in the subject field? For example, hi Mark, this week's news, as opposed to this week's news.
Okay, good question. So Adam from the requirements list, thank you very much for the question. What was the question again?
He said, do you recommend adding the recipient's name in the subject field, for example,
cool.
Highmark?
Yeah. So the best answer to that question is to test and measure. So when we get a new client on board with Winbox, we have a series of A/B split tests that we send the client's emails through. So for example, in the first email, we will test against each other a general subject line versus a specific subject line. And whichever one wins out of those two, when we go to do their next campaign, we will measure the winner against first line personalization in the subject line. And then whoever wins that one, the next email we will do the winner versus an emoji in the subject line. So the best thing to do is each audience is unique, so you have to test and measure for your audience, for your unique audience, to find out over time what works best for them and what is going to improve the open rates, and definitely for anything to do with subject line, A/B split test. A/B split test, for those of you that don't know, is you have two subject lines, subject line A, subject line B. You send each to a random sample of your recipient list. We usually do about 10% for subject line A, 10% for subject line B. Whichever subject line then has the most opens or clicks, whatever you put as your measure of success, after a set period of time, which we usually do as an hour, will be sent to the remaining recipients on your list, which is usually then, if we do 10%, 10%, will be 80% left. Will receive the winning subject line. So Adam, A/B split test, thanks again for the question, and let me know what you find out. Let me know if having first name personalization in your subject line increases your open rate. It'd be really good to know for your audience. So that's the questions we have today. Nothing is coming through yet on Periscope or Facebook Live, so if it does, I might halt proceedings. But I just wanted to tell you about our podcast, and if you're listening to this on your podcast, ignore what I'm about to say, but if you're watching on YouTube or on social media channels, if you have a Apple device, default on your Apple device would be a podcast app, little purple app that says podcast. If you click on there, search into the search bar, Winbox will come up, subscribe to our podcast. All of our blog articles we record as podcasts, so you can listen to it on there when you're walking the dog, when you're in the car, when you're out and about. And also all of these videos, we detach the audio and upload it as a podcast as well, so you can listen to it on the go wherever you are. Tweet us if you're listening as well, let us know, it'd be really good to see who's listening and what you think. Whenever I go to events now, and I was at an event this morning, Trust Local Referrals, which was a really great event with a brilliant speaker in Barclay Harris from Sander Training, so I really enjoyed that talk. And I was at the event this morning, I bumped into two people, and they both said, oh yeah, I've been watching your videos, you're on the Winbox. I had no idea, so make sure you're commenting on there, you're sharing it, you're liking it, so I know you're engaging, because I appreciate every bit of attention that we're getting from these videos. I hope we're providing value from them, because that's all we're trying to do with them. But yeah, if you can share and comment, that'd be great. But from us, nothing's come through, so keep tweeting in your email marketing questions at Winbox Limited with a hashtag Winbox Winners, and we will answer them and give you a shout out on the next show. Until next time.